UK theme parks have invested so much over the past few years, so much so that the 2025 season doesn't seem to have a lot in store for us. We've of course got that brand new ride coming to Alton Towers in the form of this toxic green looking thing. A very spooky looking manor is going to be opening at Thorpe Park where we'll be able to shoot up ghosts. And on top of them, we now have an announcement from Blackpool Pleasure Beach who are going to be opening a brand new ride in 2025. Sort of. Now, when I say sort of, what does that mean? Why isn't it definitely a new ride and only sort of? Well, I'll be talking about why in this video, alongside some other projects that I think they might have on the go at the moment. Might being the key word. Because I can't lie, 2025 might be a big year for Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Might being the key word again. But there is a lot to go through, so be sure to watch till the end. And be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the run to 100,000 subscribers now, so any help towards that goal would be massively appreciated. So then, Blackpool Pleasure Beach, or Pleasure Beach Lancashire, or Pleasure Beach Resort, whichever one of the three you want to call it. I still have no idea why they have three names for this park, but oh well. It is unusual for me to say this. There's actually a lot going on at Blackpool Pleasure Beach at the moment. Like, I'm talking a lot. Probably more than most parks in the UK, because there's been ride removals, refurbs that might be happening, potential added scenes to a ride, new rides that we have no idea about, and this brand new ride, sort of, that they have announced coming next year. But let's begin with some of the unknowns first, because there's quite a few to go through. The first of those being River Caves. I thought I'd touch on this slightly, because River Caves is a fan favourite amongst a lot of Pleasure Beach people, and as much as it is quite an old ride and it's quite a simple ride, you just sort of go on a boat through the tunnel of love and see loads of massive sets and animatronics, and it is pretty impressive for Blackpool. That ride has been completely shut for the whole of 2024, so will we see that back open in 2025? I wouldn't be surprised if they've taken the whole year to sort of re-theme it a little bit and work on some of the animatronics and actually make it work to then reopen it in 2025. But from what I saw of the actual facade itself when we went on closing weekend, it looks the worst it's ever looked before. Maybe because it's underneath Wallace and Gromit, they're just going to rip it out completely and theme it to the brand new movie. And whilst we're on the topic of Wallace and Gromit, I thought I'd mention the ride and the fact that new movie's coming out. Because obviously the Wallace and Gromit ride has loads of different scenes from all of the different films, and they haven't missed a single film out. And with the last film being released in 2008, why won't they add another scene for the new film coming out on Christmas Day this year? Genuinely, I'm so excited for this new film, I could make an entire video about it. But I don't know, there's a lot of blank space in some of the ride, a lot of sort of dark rooms and maybe areas that could be removed to replace with a new film scene. Maybe towards the end with the gnome ride at the end, they might replace it with Norbots. You never know. We might see a new scene in that ride for 2025. And I really hope we do, because they've been doing a load of promo for that film already, so to add a scene into the ride in Blackpool would literally be perfect. And also, it's one of the best dark rides in the country, so please, Ardman and Blackpool, do it. But talking of new things, there was a whole thing a while back of a brand new gyro swing coming to the park at some point in the future. Some NatWest loan got leaked where they were trying to loan out money to actually get the gyro swing, and you could see the patent name for Intamin gyro swing in the title of the loan. Keeping a project secret has never been done so well, but I can't even remember when that was, but it was months ago now, so to see no sort of development from that, is it actually happening? Well, obviously, as the UK enthusiast community loves to do, including myself, speculation and rumours have run rife at Blackpool. There's some people saying that the gyro swing wouldn't fit in the location they originally planned, which would be so Blackpool if that is the case, so I wouldn't be surprised if that one's true. There's also rumours that the loan they took out, they couldn't actually afford it, or they've sort of gone back on it and said no, they don't want to take the loan out anymore, so does that mean it's not happening still? And then the other rumour is it might happen eventually. I don't know, man. I was so excited to see a massive gyro swing in this country, because literally it is my favourite flat ride, the one at Leesburg, and it would have been so cool, but apparently not. We'll just have to wait and see. But something Amanda Thompson has said in a press release may actually tell us otherwise, and that the gyro swing could be on its way still. But more on that in just a moment, because we need to talk about something that we definitely know is not at the park anymore, or won't be forever. The Grand Prix ride, the lovely little car ride that used to go around and just, oh yeah, and then you slightly move the wheel too much and you just bang into the left side, and you drive past the whole icon queue line really awkwardly. just trying not to look at everyone in the queue whilst they look at you. But upon my last visit to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, there was actually that entire Helix section on the Grand Prix just completely demolished, and it's just rubble now. And I can't lie, I didn't mind too much about Grand Prix going as long as they get a good replacement, but seeing it completely demolished like that was a bit sad, although I'm just glad they're removing it because the monorail hasn't ran for years and that's still there, so at least it's actually going. But with the work already starting in this year, I would imagine the rest of that ride is going to be gone by the start of next year, and we don't know what's going to go in its place. Could that be where the gyro swing's going to go? I bloody hope so. Could that be part of where a new coaster's going to go? I don't know, maybe like it will run from where that Helix bit is all the way over to the Bowlerdrome where that used to be, because there seems to be a lot of work going on there too. Or I don't know, we might see another flat ride, or we could see Grand Prix Reborn. Oh, I'm not too sure, but that is very interesting nonetheless. And I'll keep you updated on that on my series this past week in theme parks. So if you want to follow along with that, subscribe so you don't miss that in future. But something we do need to talk about is the brand new ride, sort of, that Pleasure Beach Resort have unveiled for 2025. And what I'll do is I'll throw up this concept art for Launchpad. That is the new ride name. And as you can see, it looks a bit familiar. You are correct. That is the PlayStation The Ride, or Ice Blast as we used to call it, but instead repainted, rethemed, and actually sort of reworked with some of its mechanicalisms. Now, we knew this ride was closed for the entirety of 2024, and it was sad to see because Ice Blast is probably one of my favourite rides at the park, even if it's just a generic shot tower. And eventually, over the year, it just went up in scaffolding, and the ride car disappeared, and everything like that. And recently we noticed it started being painted a blue colour. Now obviously with the fact they were painting it blue, that means it's going to stay. They're not going to paint a ride blue and go, actually let's take this down. Ice Blast was here to stay, but we didn't know what it was going to stay as. Well, as said, Launchpad is what it's going to come back as, and it's going to be this blue and white colour, and it actually does look pretty cool. And I do sort of prefer the look of it. Obviously saying Launchpad, I'm still going to call it Ice Blast for God knows how many years, but it makes a bit more sense because Ice Blast just doesn't. Because yeah, looks like a drink, doesn't it? And neither did PlayStation The Ride. I mean, it sounds like my PlayStation 4 when I boot that up, pretty much like a jet engine. But that's all it really had in common. So Launchpad with this blue and white colour scheme, I'm a fan. It's quite nice. Although, as said, it is not just the ride theme that is changing, because the ride has received a brand new pressure cylinder which will transform the current ride experience and thrust riders with more force than they've experienced in recent years. So I imagine because they've said in recent years, it's not going to be like, oh my god, this is so much better than it ever has been. If you've ridden Ice Blast when it first released, or I don't know, like a few years afterwards, and you remember it being more forceful, I think it's just going to go back to being like that, which I guess is a really good thing. Yeah, right here, riders can expect to feel their stomachs drop to the floor with the increased force and experience epic moments of weightlessness. Yeah, it all sounds pretty good. And then you watch the trailer they released for it. But as you can see, they type in Pleasure Beach Resort Blackpool and it says engineered. And then we have a video of someone putting a helmet on, which is clearly AI generated. Oh man, what is all this AI usage? Why? Get someone real to do it. I know I've used AI in the past, but I use it ironically.
This is work in progress footage, so keep that in mind, you gotcha.
I just don't like parks using it in promo footage. Like, why? And then it says, for maximum power. And we cut to this launch pad, where as the doors open, you can see the ride in the background, very strangely sized compared to the doors. And then the logo comes up at the end. Launchpad. It gives me Skyforce vibes. But yeah, opening 2025. Good to see it's opening next year at least. Don't know if the ride's actually real or if it's AI generated in real life. But yeah, that is one of the promo videos of all time. What else can I say? Either way, putting the video aside for a moment, Amanda Thompson has something to say, the CEO of Pleasure Beach Resort. And this time, it's not a tweet about the fact it's PlayStation The Ride, not Ice Blast. Earlier this year, we announced that we are focusing on constantly evolving and renewing our ride offering, and confirmed our intention to make some exciting announcements in the future. The new era of Launchpad is only the first, and we're looking forward to everything the future holds at Pleasure Beach Resort. So it seems like the Ice Blast re-theme and sort of redo is the first of many things coming to the Pleasure Beach Resort, which is very interesting. Let's hope there's some actual good things coming. I'm still praying for the gyro swing and that new scene in Wallace and Gromit, but if they give us a new coaster at some point soon, I'll take that instead. What do you guys think to all of this news regarding Blackpool Pleasure Beach? Leave it in the comments below and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching.